In a massive crackdown on economic offenders, the government has made significant headway in recovering public money siphoned off by some of the country's biggest willful defaulters. The Ministry of Finance has revealed that a staggering 17,750 crore has been restituted to public sector banks and public after recovering it from 11 high-profile defaulters who collectively share a debt of over 35,000 crore to public sector banks. In total, government has recovered 34,149 crores by attaching properties, but the government is not stopping there. Extradition proceedings have already been initiated against 8 of these offenders, with approval granted in 2 cases. Of the prominent willful defaulters, Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksi top the chart, while there are many more. It's a high-stake battle to bring back not just the money but also the offenders themselves. In addition, the government's focus has always been on restitution, returning money to the people. Let's take a closer look at the government's aggressive push to recover the stolen funds and bring back the culprits to justice. According to a written reply submitted by the Ministry of Finance in Parliament, the government has managed to recover 17,750 crore from 11 willful defaulters who together share a debt of 35,431 crore to public sector banks. This recovery marks a significant milestone in India's ongoing effort to crack down on financial fraud and protect taxpayers' money. The Ministry of Finance confirmed that the Enforcement Directorate has been working under the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act or FEOA 2018 and the Prevention of Money Laundering Act PMLA 2002 to track down and seize the assets of these defaulters. Since the FEOA came into force, the ED has initiated proceedings against 24 individuals, 13 of whom have been officially declared fugitive economic offenders by special courts. Of the 24 cases, 11 have now been classified as willful defaulters, those who have deliberately defaulted on loans despite having the means to repay them. Together, these 11 defaulters share 35,000 crore of debt, making this one of the largest cases of financial misconduct in the country's history. But the government's response has also been swift and strategic. The ED has attached assets worth 34,149 crore belonging to these defaulters, a major step forward recovering public funds. What is significant here is that of the attached assets, 17,750 crore has already been confiscated and restituted to public sector banks. According to the Minister of State for Finance, Pankaj Chaudhary, 15,184 crore was recovered under the PMLA, while another 2,565 crore was restituted to victim banks through a special court order even before formal confiscation. Additionally, 749 crore worth of assets have been seized under the FEOA itself. But the government is not stopping at just recovering the money. It's going after the offenders themselves. Extradition proceedings have been initiated against 8 of these willful defaulters, and in 2 cases, the Indian government has already received approval to bring them back to face justice. The message is clear: the government is determined to make economic offenders answer for their crimes, no matter where they try to hide. Legal action is also progressing rapidly. The ED has filed 16 prosecution complaints, including 8 supplementary complaints under the PMLA. These legal actions are aimed at strengthening the government's case and ensuring that defaulters cannot escape the law. The Fugitive Economic Offenders Act, introduced in 2018, has become a powerful tool in India's fight against financial crime. The law allows the government to seize and confiscate assets of offenders who have fled the country to avoid legal action. It's already proving effective, with over half the defaulted funds recovered and extradition proceedings underway. The government is tightening the noose around some of the biggest names in financial fraud. This crackdown comes in the middle of growing pressure to hold financial offenders accountable and restore confidence in the banking system. High-profile cases of loan defaults and economic fraud have shaken public trust in recent years. But the government's success in recovering such a large portion of the funds sends a strong signal. For the government, this is not just about recovering money, it is also about restoring faith in the system. The ED's aggressive push under the FEOA and PMLA demonstrates that economic offenders will face the full force of the law, no matter how powerful or influential they may be. With extradition efforts gaining momentum and legal cases advancing, the government's pursuit of justice is far from over. The government's message to defaulters is loud and clear: you can run, but you cannot hide.